Were you involved with the Dartmouth project that Fred Bottomley was doing? Has that been approved? The Dartmouth project, 115 acres? Nick's son was also going to buy that property. Were you involved with that?
115 acres doesn't sound right. We were working on a 40-acre project there, which is still in process.
The planning board had some very strong concerns about allowing this type of use into farms and ultimately what will happen to farms. The bylaws that they were proposing and the state controls, there seems to have, there's no triggers that would prevent the solar farm coming to primary use on a farm. And that was quite concerning to this group, is that this is just going to push out the farmer. In fact, the proposal that was before us, they were buying out the farmer.
Correct.
And claimed to grow cranberries, and yet there was no enforcement on the state's part to say, well, when does it stop being a cranberry farm and is now strictly a solar farm? As far as the state was concerned, the way we interpret, you could have one cranberry on 60 acres and it's a cranberry farm. Not something this board was interested in seeing it and adopted and offering no protections to farm. But I don't.
The technology, I don't think the technology has caught up yet, and and I probably shouldn't use that word because we have the technology. It's just that we haven't developed, or the systems haven't been developed. Because if you look what the Japanese had done, it's less disruptive on the soils. It's not as it's just more, it seems to be more farm friendly or agricultural friendly than does some of the ones that they're proposing now with these large steel posts that are either augered in or drilled in, and it's just really it's not great for the soils, nor is it for irrigation systems if you're putting it in for example, a cranberry bog where that infrastructure already exists. Where is the starting point? Like now we're going to start with, well, anything better than, as you said, 2 berries is going to cut it. So this is very different than having the focus be on the agriculture and using this alternative energy to run pumps or refrigeration or fans or whatever uses we already have. But this is more of a venture where the solar is just providing a form of revenue, not so much the agriculture.
At the end, after hearing everything from this group and entertaining the bylaw that was proposed, the planning board was opposed to this type of use and change in our residential districts.
And if by allowing you to at least get enough power to run your farm and maybe a 10% profit, I don't have a problem with it, but I want it to be a farm. I don't want someone to come in and buy it and say, I'm going to produce that one cranberry. And I think that was the real thrust was, wait a minute here, you're going to buy, when he said he was buying the property, I was like, buy. It just stopped right there. No. We want it to be a farm.